All right. Well, hello and welcome to my world, folks. Welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight. You know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is what we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. Now, tonight, folks, I have a really dynamic show scheduled for you tonight. Now, our guiding leadership principle for tonight is the law of buy in, which says people buy into the leader, then the vision. Now, this will become more important a little bit later, but you know, Mahatma Gandhi spent decades teaching others how to gain their freedom through peaceful efforts and nonviolence. Eventually, the people of India bought into his vision and they were able to carry it out. Sort of like tonight, folks. These people on this stage tonight or on your screen tonight, they're all brand new authors. Well, except for one who's a serial author, but I'll explain that in a little bit. But everybody else, they are first time authors, folks. And let me tell you what, people don't buy into what you do, they buy into why you do it. People will gravitate to the leader before the dream. Now, why is this important? This is important because back in August of 2021, I had a dream of writing a book, a collaborative book. And I reached out to several people and invited them. And about 40 something people I invited, and seven of them stepped up. Seven of them said, I'm buying into you and I'm buying into this vision and I want to become an author. I want to help you create this book. So tonight we're here to talk about this new book called The Blueprint for Manager Success. And so let me walk you through the people that we have here with us tonight, all dynamic leaders in their own right. So first, I want to start off with Ms. Johanna Rincon. Johanna is the founder and CEO of Internal Alignment. So welcome, Johanna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. And then we also have Ms. Pauletha White, who is the founder of Path of Light Leadership Institute. Welcome, Pauletha.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Then we have the phenomenal Miss Deneen Humphrey of DR Humphrey Group.
Good evening, Cedrick. Good evening, everyone.
And next we have Miss Darlene Glenn, the founder and CEO of Aspire Lighthouse Leadership. Welcome.
Thank you, Cedrick. It's a pleasure to be here and looking forward to connecting with everyone this evening.
Awesome. And then we have Miss Ella Clark, all the way from the Clark Group. Hello, Ella.
Hello, Cedric, and hello, everyone. It's such an honor to be here. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, awesome. And last but definitely not least, we have the phenomenal serial author, the leader of this group, Miss Tawana Wilson of Trendy Elite Coaching and Consulting.
Hello, hello. Hey, Cedric. Hey, team. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. Well, I am excited to be here tonight and to help launch this book, the pre-sale of this book, The Blueprint for Manager Success. And folks, let me tell you what, these phenomenal ladies put together an amazing book, and they asked me to do a little bit as well. So tonight we're here to talk about it. Okay. So what I want you to do is we're going to be sharing, because this is a collaborative book, we're going to be sharing different links for you to pre-order their book. So if you're a friend of Pauletha, then click, when I put Pauletha's link on there, you take that link and you go and pre-order from Pauletha. When I talk to Ella and I put her information on there, you're friends with Ella, boom, order Ella's book. And Johanna and Deneen and Tawana and Darlene, when you click on their link, you're friends with them, you want to support them, I ask you to do that, folks. Okay. So tonight we have a dynamic show with you. We're going to help you learn about the blueprint for manager success. So there are a lot of people that are online that are tuned in. Some people say, go to Tawana, someplace say, I wish I could be on it. I'm a part of it, but I wasn't able to make it here. And that's our other co-author who's not here. Someone said, hello, guys and gals. All right, so we're excited. So I'm going to start off with some questions, and initially I just want to have a round robin conversation real quick. So, you know, sometimes when you do something new, you do it out of fear, and sometimes you do it because you want to challenge yourself, right? So tonight, what I want each of you to take a little bit of time to tell the audience, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So tell the audience something interesting, fun, and exciting about yourself. So Pauletha, why don't you tell us about something interesting, fun, and exciting about you?
Right now, I am doing something very interesting and fun to me. My mother and I are collaborating on the book that I actually referenced in my chapter, People Fuel. That's one of the resources that I referenced, and I'm enjoying the journey that we're on, discovering new things about her that I did not know about her childhood, and she's focusing on growing in relational needs. I'm finding out things that we actually have in common, and I'm just enjoying hearing her talk about some of our common interests, which is psychology, and I actually volunteered to set a routine schedule with my family to cover some of those relational needs that she's actually interested in. So I am practicing what the chapter is about. My chapter is about finding the need, then leading. So that is definitely a passion of mine.
Awesome. So Miss Johanna Rincon, tell us something fun and interesting about you.
Why do you have to say my last name like that?
Hey, it's the rolling R, right?
All right. So something fun, since you make the R so pronounced, right? So I love to dance. I'm Latina. I love to dance, and especially salsa. When I hear the music and I hear some salsa, I just want to dance. So that's something fun and interesting that maybe the audience didn't know about me. So thank you for the question.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, a lot of people like to dance, but can you dance?
Oh, yes, I can, for sure.
Okay, all right. I'm just checking, all right. We might have to put some salsa music on here in just a little bit and see what happens.
You're gonna see Johanna Rincon coming out.
All right. So, Miss Tawana, Coach T, tell us something fun, exciting, and interesting about yourself.
Well, something fun and interesting is that I once jumped out of a perfectly good plane.
Oh my
Airplane.
God.
I know. Of course, everybody, that was before I had children. So I had nothing to lose. And you see, I'm still here to talk about it today. But that was something that was on my bucket list, and I got to do it. Would I do it again? I don't have to, but I can say that I've jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. And another thing that I could say is that to date, with my various podcasts, I have done over 100 episodes. So that's kind of
Wow.
I tell you, she's just awesome. She's doing all kind of stuff. That is awesome. Ella Clark, tell us something fun, interesting, exciting about yourself.
Well, okay. Well, Joanna took one of mine, so I'm going to go to my name. I was named after the great Ella Fitzgerald, and I discovered that I cannot sing. So to live up to the name, I started a jazz society to promote the art form. And I love to dance like no one's looking. In fact, my friends call me the pop-up dancer when we go out to live music. I'm subject to just pop up and start dancing whether I have a dance partner or not. So
okay, that is awesome. Then we definitely gonna have to get some music on before this show is over. We're gonna see who can dance up in here. All right, so Darlene, tell us something fun and interesting, exciting about yourself.
Okay, well, Cedrick, I just want you to know that you cannot spell the word dysfunction without the three letters FUN. So you have to have fun. So put the fun in being dysfunctional, right?
Okay.
And that's what we're all kind of talking about here. So, I like life is too short and sweet to not have fun. And you have to, serious things come along, and sometimes things are hard, but if you can put a little humor in things, it'll go a lot better and on down the road. So I like to enter into different projects and take like sewing or cooking or just something so totally different, because I stay so busy with everything else. And so just last night, I created my own little gourmet dish and didn't even have a recipe. So it turned out really great and everybody was loving it. So I enjoy cooking meals when I can. And that's totally different from my business and what we do. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that is awesome. So now the Dr. Humphrey group, Ms. Deneen Humphrey, tell us something fun, interesting, and exciting about yourself.
Cedrick, just like Ella and Johanna, I love to dance, but I'm really making a joke. I am uberly afraid of cats, right? If a cat crossed my path, I will be dancing, but it's going to be on top of the table. I am afraid of cats. I can't do it. And I'm an avid spades player. Let me tell you something. If you can't play spades, don't be my partner. Talking about I played a year ago. That's not what we're doing. If you don't play to win, don't sit at the table with me. Because something happened it's not Deneen that's playing, it's Diana that come out at the spades table. So don't get at the table with me if you can't play.
Okay, all right. I see Miss Barbara's on here. Thank you for tuning in. She says, "Yay, Deneen, go ahead now."
And I bet she talks a lot of junk while she's playing.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that is awesome. So let's dive in a little bit. So, Johanna, so did you ever imagine you would be an author of a book on developing new leaders?
That's a good question, Cedrick. I mean, not really. I knew I wanted to write a book. I always thought of maybe writing an autobiography, like sharing with people my personal development journey. But to be honest, when this opportunity presented itself with these awesome ladies, I had to jump in right away, right? And so, but I never thought that I will be writing a book specific on this subject. So I'm excited, and this is taking me out of my comfort zone, and I enjoy the journey, and it stretched me very, very much.
Okay, all right. So, Miss Ella, what about yourself? Did you ever imagine you'd be writing a book on developing new leaders?
Well, actually, like Johanna, it's always been a dream of mine to write a book, but I thought I would do my personal story first. But when the opportunity came and I saw the title, it took me back to my first management job and the journey and struggle that I went on. And it just got me excited about paying it forward and sharing with someone else some of the real life lessons that I had learned. So really was an awesome opportunity. And also with it being a part of a team, it held me accountable and stopped me from procrastinating like I had been doing.
Sure. Yeah, definitely understand that. So Tawana, you've written several books before this project, and you were our lead author on putting this together. We were all like, kindergarten in terms of writing books, right? So tell us, what was your experience in leading this group and putting this book together?
Well, Cedrick, that's a good question as well. And the experience was awesome because you all had the heart to serve the passion, you wanted to make impact, and you wanted to have influence. You knew how important this topic was of developing new managers from your own personal stories, but also seeing other managers kind of struggle. They're like, okay, where's the playbook? Where's the blueprint? Like, somebody help. And you all answered the call. So for me, it was a joy to be able to work with you all. You all were, I'm like, listen, we're gonna do this. And at first, y'all was like, okay. So how's this gonna work? But you all were open, and you all were just, I mean, you just took the task and got it done. And I'm really, really, really happy and proud of this project. I'm proud of all of my projects, but this one I'm really, really proud of. And I'm really excited for you all to become published authors. I think this tool is necessary and needed. And so just being able to be along with you and help you get to the finish line was really an honor. So I'm just excited that I was able to help you get here.
Awesome. Well, we definitely appreciate it, and know that we wouldn't be at this juncture without your help. So thank you very much for that. So Pauletha, being an author takes you to another level in your business, especially if you're in this leadership development space. So what made you decide to do this now?
I understand how powerful written word can be. So on my journey to wholeness, for me, it was about opportunity. How I use this moment will determine what I will be able to do in the future, whether it's facing my fears without excuses. Legacy is important to me, growth, and taking the right action. And historical cycles proves that our window of opportunity will not always be open. And even though I went through, a dark time in my life, the mission doesn't change, regardless of the seasons or the challenges in life, even a crisis like COVID-19. So I jumped on this opportunity while I could, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Wow, that is
That's great.
awesome. So we see Dr. Nicole Rankin says, congratulations to you authors out there. So on here tonight. So thank you for tuning in. So excuse me. Same thing for you, Darlene. Tell me, what made you decide to jump on this opportunity and take advantage of it?
So that's a really good question, Cedrick. And I was thinking, I remember when I raised my hand, and then I remember thinking, why did you do that? And oh no. and then, like Ella said earlier, it was about that accountability to the rest of the group. And it was like, okay, I always keep my commitment to other people. I don't always keep it to myself, but it was an opportunity for me to prove not only to myself that I could do this, but it was an opportunity for me to know that this is something that I needed to do in order to take my business and company to the next level, because I have a story to tell and people need to hear my story.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
That's awesome.
Everybody has a story to tell, and it's wonderful that you're able to take advantage of this opportunity and tell your story. And this is in this book, you're going to see that come out, but you're also going to see bigger than that. You're going to see tools and tips and processes to use your business. If you are a leader, right? It's going to help you understand how to recruit, how to hire, how to retain people, so that you have 8s and 9s coming in your building and 1s and 2s leaving out, right?
Right.
If you are a person that's a high potential, you are looking to go into leadership and management. It's going to give you some tips and some tools, the things that you need to prepare yourself for, so that you can become an effective leader in your organization. You can help your career. So Now, this is a collaborative book. So as each person talks and speaks, you're going to see I put their name and their link in the across the screen. I'm going to pop those in the chat as well. So if you're friends with Tawana, then support Tawana. If you're friends with Deneen, then click on Deneen's link and support her. If you're a friend of Darlene, click on her link and support her. Ella, the same thing. Pauletha, the exact same thing. I'll put my link out there a little bit later. But tonight is about everybody who helped collaborate with putting this book together. So I definitely, and they want you and they need you to support their book and their efforts. I guarantee you, you will not regret purchasing the blueprint for manager success. So let's keep going. So, you know, so Tawana, every book has its own secrets of success, right? So what's the key to writing a good book?
That's a good question. And I get asked that one actually quite often. The secret is making sure you write a book that speaks to your readers' pain points, speaks to your readers' interests. Now, this may be unpopular, but as an author, the book is not about you. The book is about your reader. And so you can infuse your story, you can infuse your examples, but it still at the end of the day should be to help your reader. And so people write books all the time and they tell their stories, and that's awesome. And depending on what genre of book you're writing, maybe more of a personal story or biography is great. But if you are looking to really make an impact on somebody, you want to make sure that you are writing your book so that it has the reader in mind. Don't just write it and be like, "Ooh, that felt good." But the reader didn't get anything out of it. So speak to your reader's needs, speak to your reader's pain points. When somebody picks up a book, and this is a leadership book, so when they pick up this book, they're looking for practical tools, right? Your story is great, but how does that help me as a new manager, as a new leader? I have an employee in front of me and I have no idea what to do. While your story is great, if it don't help me be able to be able to suit that need, then it's going to be difficult for me to keep reading. So that is what I would say would be a secret for anybody that's writing a book. Always keep your reader at the forefront of those pages.
Okay, I want to get my story out, and I'm talking all about me, and nobody wants to read just about me, right?
Right?
I mean, unless you like Oprah, I mean, maybe. Like, if you like Oprah, I need to know all those secrets, all those tips,
Right.
to be one of the richest women in the world. But I mean, if you talk about a Coach T. Wilson, you know, maybe not so much.
That's a good one. So folks, see, she just gave you some good tips so you can start working on putting your book together. So Pauletha, what was your thought process as you went into writing your chapter? So tell us the chapter you wrote, and what was your thought process going into writing your chapter?
Okay, my chapter was chapter 6 on providing support, and the title was Find a Need, Then Lead. And my thought process was to show how important there's a concept called yelling at the fruit. And it pretty much deals with, like, if you have an apple tree and you go out to get apples, and then the apples are wimpy, there's small fruit hanging from it, and you say to that tree in frustration, "You and your apples suck. I really need good ones, not these losers. Get your act together and get me some good fruit." So you're yelling at this tree because it's not producing the apples that you want. But if that apple tree could talk, it would probably say, "I'm not the problem here. I'm happy to make you some great apples, but you haven't been watering me or aerating the soil or putting the right amount of calcium, nitrates, and phosphates into the ground. Do that work, and I'll do my work." So in management, if there is a situation where you're not getting the right nutrients to that employee, If you're not getting them the tools that they're needing, makes no sense to yell at that individual, because you're not going to get the solution that you're after. Take care of the root of the problem, and then you can get the performance fruit that you're looking for. So that's what I really had, that type of process as I was writing this chapter.
Okay, all right. Ella, share with us, what chapter did you write, and what was your thought process going into this?
Okay, thank you. Great question. My chapter was chapter 10, and Cedrick accused me of choosing the final chapter thinking that I would have more time. But I want you to know that that didn't work, that I was given the same timeline. And mine was about provide growth opportunities. And growth is something that I've been passionate about my entire 30-year work career. So the first thing I did was I got in the mindset of thinking about the fact that I learned the hard way that growth doesn't just happen, that you have to, by chance, you have to make it happen, and you have to be intentional about it. And one of the things that I learned about halfway through my career is that you can't sit back and wait for someone else to give you the growth opportunities. You actually have to own the growth. So once I got in the right mindset, I began to reflect over my career and thought about, as Tawana said, the struggles of the first management job. And, you know, gosh, all of my quest for trying to climb the corporate ladder, I learned that, yes, it's possible, but I needed to have had a blueprint for success, like what we were talking about. And then I really wanted the chapter to reflect and illustrate some real examples and some executive perspectives. So I thought about the people that had impacted my career. I interviewed them. And then I wanted to make sure that I was current. So I did some research on industry best practices, on, you know, some of the tools and strategies for growth that's relevant now. That I could share. It's kind of the process that I went through.
Okay, all right. Well, you put a lot of work into your chapter, and let me tell you what, folks, if there's anyone that's an overachiever, that's Ella. I think you wrote her chapter, and like, you know, she was first of all. It's always great to be first. She was first with completing her chapter. She did a lot of research. She put a lot of effort into her chapter. So let me tell you what, folks, what does that mean to you? That means to you as a reader, he's putting tips and tools that are current with current practices in place to help you better understand how to. So it takes all the guesswork on how to be a great leader. It takes all the guesswork on how you can become a more effective leader. So thank you, Ella, for doing that and for leading the way. She put a lot of pressure on everybody else, by the way. So
I would like to share one of the statistics that really impacted me. The research shows that 60% of new managers have said that they have not received formal training in the positions they want. So with that percentage in mind, I believe that our book is the answer to that. Because you could pick it up at any point and go in quickly and get what you need and just be ready to get things done, put it into action.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Deneen,
Yes.
what chapter did you read, and what do you want? What chapter did you write, and what do you want the reader to get from your chapter?
Well, Cedrick, I wrote the first chapter. The first chapter is entitled Managers Are Made, Not Born. And I subtitled the chapter, You Can Do This. And one of the things that I want the reader and the leader to walk away with is the fact that it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you desire to finish. I am probably one of the least likely people to have been able to write a book from standards. A little bit about just a real little bit. When I graduated high school with a 7-month-old baby in the audience, and I didn't make it to college, and so I was kind of disqualified from the game per the standards of others before the game even started. And so what I want other people to know is that although it seemed like you may be disqualified from the standards of others or the standards of culture, if you just put in a little hard work, if you put in concentrated effort, if you remain faithful, available, and teachable, the sky is the limit for you. God's word is true. In Jeremiah 29:11, God says, I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, to give you hope, a future, and an expected end.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what it looks like around you. God's plan still stands. And that's what I want you to get.
Go ahead and preach it now.
Yes, I think we
preaching.
we can pass the plate now.
Deneen said now it's time for Malachi 3:10. Go ahead and click on her link and he's going to pour you out a whole lot of blessings, right? So Johanna, tell us, what chapter did you write? And what do you want to the reader to? What do you think they're going to benefit from reading your chapter?
Well, I wrote chapter 8, clearly defining the management track. And I think the main benefit that the readers will receive from this chapter is clarity. You see, oftentimes, Cedrick, employees that are interested in transitioning into management, some of them don't really understand the process. And so this might keep talented people from pursuing managerial positions. And so having a laid out management track, it's super invaluable for developing new managers. And why is that? Because when employees can see the path to management, including expectations, competencies, and a professional development plan, then they can jump into the opportunity and get ready so that when the opportunities show up, they don't have to start to get ready. So you see a clearly defined management track. It's also helpful for those people in the role of developing managers, right? It's not only for the employee who wants to go in and develop themselves, but also for that manager that is looking to provide development to their employees, because it provides a really good roadmap to mentors, managers, and supervisors.
Yes, absolutely. So that is great information and good for our reader that you guys provided so much that they're going to benefit from. Now, Tawana, you didn't only direct us in terms of writing this book, but you also wrote a chapter as well. So tell us the chapter that you wrote and what do you want the reader to get from it?
Yes, so I wrote the second chapter in the book, Creating a Clear Management Track. And it's a vital tool for new managers. I think that it is very important for new managers, and it provides them with that guideline really for the skills that they will need, the experiences, the professional development that they will need in order to become managers. So sometimes you don't even know if it's for you. It's like you want to be a manager, but you don't know if you have the skills. You don't know if you have the experience. You don't know if you have the right people in your corner to get you into your management role. So that's why I think that my chapter is very important, because it's about creating that clear management track so that you're able to get to the role and then be successful in the role. And then subsequent chapters after mine build upon that. So we don't just give you a little bit, we give you additional examples that you need as well.
Awesome. And Darlene, I don't remember. Did I ask you about your chapter yet? I'm getting a little bit old. I'll be double nickel or later this week, so forgive me if I forgot. So Darlene, tell us the chapter you wrote and what do you want the reader to get from it?
Okay. I wrote chapter 4, Cedrick, and the name of my chapter is Managers Learn by Being Managed Well. And basically told my own, story, as I put the chapter together. I, was thinking about, when have there been times in my life that I've had a mentor And, there's been a couple of examples where, I had a high school teacher that mentored me, and to this day, I credit her with the fact that she helped me to learn to believe in myself and develop that self-confidence. And, I tell us the story in my chapter about how, I went from one position to another position, and, I showed up thinking, oh, everybody's going to be so glad I'm here and they're going to be there to help me out. And, and it didn't work out quite like that. And so I want people to realize that there's people all around you that are there and can readily help you and help you become the best manager that you want to be, the best version of yourself that you can be. You can't sit back and wait. You can't wait for them to come to you. You've got to be involved with your development. You have to do those things. And that's what I want the reader to get out of my chapter, is the fact that you have to take charge and you have to be the one to reach out and to build that trust so that they will come alongside of you and help you. And so in my chapter, a very personal story that I told, just simply about how, my mom had mentored me in something, and then a crisis happened, and I was able to kick it into high gear and be able, to help out based on those things that she had mentored me in at a very young age. So, finding that mentor, that person that's going to align with your values, will definitely help get you to the next level.
Yes, awesome. I really do like that. Thanks for sharing that. We also had 4 other chapters in this book, and one of our other authors is not here with us tonight, but her chapter it says Ready, Set, Empower. Now, I like that title, right? Ready, Set, Empower. One of the most important things you can do to develop new managers is to empower them, right? And when you empower people, man, amazing things can happen. So new managers may be hesitant or nervous to take on new responsibilities and authority. So it's important that you help get them ready and then empower them. That's what that chapter is all about. Now, I was able to write our final 3 chapters in this book. In fact, chapter 3 says define and build competencies. See, the skills for effective management can be learned and built. I'm going to say that again because I need you to make sure that you understand it, just in case you're not an effective leader today. The skills for effective management can be learned and built. However, they can only be learned and built if those who aspire to management know what those skills and competencies are. So in that chapter, I help you understand what those competencies are, and then how to incorporate those in your everyday business. The other chapter I wrote was chapter 5. It's provide tools. You see, you got to get people ready. Then you have to support them and provide tools that they can use. So a key component to developing new leaders is providing them with those tools that they need in order to be successful. Just as you wouldn't, nor I wouldn't, expect an employee to do a job without supplies or the necessary technology, you cannot expect managers to manage effectively without a toolkit. So in this book, we're going to provide you with the things that you need to put in your toolkit. Then you can roll those out in your organization. And then the last chapter I wrote is identify strong candidates. You see, I said earlier, it's about understanding how to recruit, how to hire, and how to retain effective leaders in your organization. See, while every organization is likely to do a mix of internal promotions and outside hiring, oftentimes the best candidates for management are already within your organization. So we want you to understand that when you hire good people and you have the tools and the tips that you need that you're going to find in this book, The Blueprint for Manager Success, then it's about giving them those tools, but then identifying those candidates early on in the process that have high potential so that you can put them on track for success and give them a career path, right? So they can see the future. This is what leaders do. So this chapter is going to allow the organization and the employee to invest time and resources in developing that potential. And that's what this is all about. So I'm excited about this book. I hope you're excited about it. I hope that you go out and pre-order this book. You see, we all want the roadmap. We all want the blueprint for success. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We've already put it together for you. So all you have to do now is take the next step. Invest in yourself. Click on the link if you want to support Johanna. Click on that link. If you want to support Ella, click on her link. Deneen, Tawana, Pauletha, Darlene, or Cedrick, right? You want to support, go ahead. If you want to be a baller, just click every link and buy one.
We love ballers.
That's a good idea.
Nobody
They can
will
buy it
complain.
and give them away.
Nobody will complain if you do that, okay? So now let's keep going. I want to find out a little bit more. So, Johanna, tell us, what was the most challenging part of writing your chapter?
Well, Cedrick, there was no challenging part for me because absolutely everything about this chapter was challenging. So, it was not a part, right? It was everything. So, as I mentioned earlier, participating in this project was a great way for me to grow and stretch myself. It was also a big responsibility, Cedrick, not only with me personally, because I wanted to prove myself that I could do this, but also with my fellow authors, and also great responsibility with you, right? Because you believed in me, you believed in us, and so you trusted me to write this chapter, right, based on my skills, my abilities, and I wanted to deliver it. So it was a huge responsibility, and that kind of made it a little bit challenging, but I loved the challenge and I embraced it and I learned so much. And I did it in English, not in Spanish, as I thought I would be doing my first book in English. So thank you.
Awesome. So, Marcia, links are in the comments. So there's a link for Johanna, there's a link for Tawana, for Pauletha, for Ella, for Darlene, for Deneen, and for Cedrick. So just in the comments, just click on the link that you want to, the person you want to support in this book. So Tawana, again, as the lead author, help us understand who should read this book and how would you summarize this book?
That's a good one. So any organization that has managers should read this book, right?
Yes.
So any organization, get it for your managers, get it for those that are in the, I would say pipeline, but a better term is on the pathway to management. So if you are a manager or you desire to be a manager, then this book is for you. As they say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So if you get this book before you get into that leadership role, you'll be well on your way. But this book is essential. And Ella talked about it a little bit earlier when she mentioned that statistic, in that people seem to think that managers are, you don't have to be developed or you don't have to be trained. And quite frankly, it is effective and essential for any business, but it's easily overlooked with training and development of new managers. A lot of times that's because it's not quantifiable in regards to the numbers, how businesses look at it. And so sometimes they let people get into roles that they've not been trained or prepared for. But when you provide your managers and employees with the skills and tools that they need, then it greatly boosts morale, strengthens your organization, and it does impact your bottom line. So this book, just to kind of summarize it, it's about investing in your employees and the development of your management team. So when you focus on those development activities and opportunities, then you establish that culture that retains your top talent and improves succession planning. And succession planning is a huge deal right now, and especially as you have managers that are retiring, you are starting to have in certain industries less people coming into the industry. So you definitely need to develop and retain your top talent. So that's what I would say. It's for those organizations that really want to value and invest in their employees. And it's also for those managers or those desiring to be managers to read this book and have this tool in their toolbox.
Okay. I really love that summation, folks. And look, there are a lot of different options that you have out there for things you can do in your evening time, for things you can do on the weekend and all this type of stuff. I'm going to just be serious with you and let you know that reading this type of book is going to help you in your career. It's going to help you in your business, entrepreneur. It's going to help you understand how to not only navigate your career, how to help people that work on your team, and also so you have to also learn how to manage up. That's what we call 360-degree leader. So this book is going to help you as you start managing up to help your manager. See, you may be a great leader, but your manager may not be. See, this book is going to help you understand how to become a better leader. And they're going to start asking you, how do you know so much? Because I got the blueprint, right? So guess what? You can give your manager the next holiday, give them a gift. I'm going to give you the blueprint for manager success. I'm going to give you the 10 keys to getting things done. They're going to like you for it, right? They're going to thank you for it. So learn how to manage up with people. So now, hey, folks, I need you to know and like and trust these people that are here, these authors, right? So we're going to find out a little bit more about them right now. And right now, we're going to play a little game of Would You Rather? All right. So, an audience, you can put your comments in the chat as well. See, they didn't know that was coming. Miss Pauletha, would you rather be the smartest person in the room or the funniest person in the room?
The smartest all day long.
The smartest person in the room. All right. So, audience, you can answer that. Put your answer in the chat. Tell us which one would you rather, the smartest person or the funniest. So, Ella, would you rather fly to the moon or be invisible?
Oh my goodness. Can I do both? Let me see. I would probably.
It's would you rather?
I would rather be invisible. That way I can move around and in silence and no one knows what's going on until I'm ready to pop up.
See, Ella want to see what you're saying when she's not around. So, Tawana, would you rather live without air conditioner or without heat?
Ooh, neither one of those is good. That's a tough one, but I guess I would rather live without neither. I pass.
Yeah.
I'd rather live without the air. I don't like being cold.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
live without the
So, Miss Johanna Rincon, would you rather eat melted ice cream or frozen watermelon?
Oh, melted ice cream. Yeah, I cannot. Frozen things really make me like, I can't do that. So
Okay,
I'll take the melted ice cream.
All right. So, Deneen, would you rather share a room with your sibling or live alone?
First, we need to see if they're tuned in.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, you heard me. Would you
I know I
rather room with your sibling or live alone?
I would take live alone Alex for 200. I love my siblings. I do. But I'm the oldest of
All right,
them.
she's qualified, and she
so
loved you guys.
what
but,
had
she don't wanna
happened
live with
was let me just be alone Alex for 200.
you. Okay. All right. So Darlene, I've never asked this one before. Actually, it's pretty good. Would you rather have gum that never loses its flavor or candy that lasts forever?
Gum that never loses its flavor. And what was it broke up a little bit.
Or candy that lasts forever?
Well, I gave up chewing gum a long time ago because somebody said, and it could be a myth or a rumor, I'm not really sure, but I heard that it increases your appetite, so I didn't need any help with that. So, and then candy, I really don't do either. So, well, let's see. I guess gum that never loses its flavor would probably not be bad because usually that's when I would spit it out anyway. And it would end up, you could save a lot of money that way. So.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a quick round robin, everyone. All right. Would you rather run out of gas in the middle of nowhere or drive 100 miles in the wrong direction? So we'll start with Darlene.
Drive 100 miles in the wrong direction because I probably would have never gone there. And to me, it's an adventure and I like having fun. So again, I put the fun in dysfunction. You can't spell the word dysfunction without fun. Okay.
All right. Deneen?
I would rather drive 100 miles in the wrong direction. I may run out of gas anyway, but at least I get to see some stuff that I've never seen before.
All right, Johanna Rincon.
I will drive 100 miles away in the wrong way, but with the tank full.
Tawana?
I'm with them. They own to something. I would drive in the wrong direction and probably reroute my whole trip. So yeah, I don't want to be in the middle of no man's land with no gas.
Right,
no gas. I'm going to have to go with the popular opinion and ride along in the wrong direction. Hope I meet a tall, handsome guy on the way that go with me.
I'm with you, Ella. I'm with you when you're right.
Okay,
What about Pauletha?
All right. And Pauletha?
I'm going to agree with all of you ladies, but I would like to have the handsome gentleman in the vehicle with me.
Before you get started.
Before I get started.
All right. So for some reason, my internet is... Okay, go ahead.
She already responded, Cedrick. I think you should respond.
So for some reason, my internet's starting to mess up for some reason or other. We're having too much of a good time. We're selling.
Uh-oh. I think it froze up on us.
You up, Coach T?
We lost him.
Well, I think we're having too much of a good time. So with that, as I know the show is coming quickly to a close, and as we await
now we can talk about Cedrick.
Yeah, I think we should, if he doesn't come back before we close, we should all take a time to say something about Cedrick because he gave us this opportunity.
Yes.
And he's being very modest, right? But we need to say something about Cedrick. Cedrick.
Well,
Right.
I'm back. My internet, for some reason, is not letting me be great tonight. So sorry about that. All right. So I didn't hear what Pauletha said, but that's all right. We're gonna keep going. We have like 5 minutes left, and I want to make sure that each of you have a round to say something to your audience. So be brief because we have 5 minutes left, right? So I'll start with Pauletha. Say something to your audience for why they should purchase this book.
I think you should purchase this book because it's important to understand, and I keep referring back to my chapter, but the entire book is really great. I've had an opportunity to spend time with these ladies and gentlemen for many months, and the valuable information that you're going to get is priceless. And as I stated in my chapter, when you're creating a plan to develop new managers, be sure to build in support systems that address the personal, mental, and relational needs of your managers. Can't go wrong purchasing the blueprint.
Awesome. Ella?
Well, I want to say that this book, Rise Up, The Blueprint for Manager Success, 10 Keys to Getting Things Done, is for you. Whether you're an aspiring manager, a new manager, an executive, or a leader, you will get some type of nugget or tip or strategy in it that will allow you to move from where you are to being a great leader. So I believe that we have taken the time to illustrate our points with real life examples as well as data, and you will certainly be able to get something out of it.
Awesome. Deneen?
Yes, I want to say that this book is good for any institution and organization. I am bivocational, so I work a corporate job, but I'm also an ordained minister. And this book is not only good in your corporate environment, but it's also a good book and tool for the church environment as well. If you are aspiring to be a leader in any environment, this book is for you. It helps you to grow in your leadership abilities and to recognize what leaders need. Sometimes even at the church, we don't get good training and we don't get good resources. And so this book is not just for the boardroom, but it's also good for the church.
Great point.
Yes, absolutely. Johanna?
Yes, I think this book will be an amazing tool for any aspiring leaders, especially because they will have a clear steps to transition from their line level or to transition from supervisory level into management, and have a good roadmap to get there and be ready. So when the opportunity shows up, they can jump in and do it.
All right, Darlene?
This book actually is just like the others have already said, several different possibilities and the purpose of it. But if you're looking to find your purpose as a manager, and maybe you need to reinvent yourself, maybe you've had some struggles and you want to go back and have some do-overs, this book is for you because it has the 10 tips to help you get things done, we talked about taking the detour and the running out of the gas. Maybe that's happened to you as a manager. So this book can help you get to where you want to be, and then you can also share it with others.
All right, and Tawana?
Just like everybody said, but I want to specifically talk to all of my medical laboratory professionals out there. This book is for you. I know that you are awesome technically, right? You save lives every single day, and everybody knows. If they don't, now they do. But as you transition from being behind the scenes to being the hero in front of the scenes in your management role, your supervisor role, your team leader role, you find that you don't have all of the tips to be successful. This blueprint is for you. Don't get stuck on the title because it says manager. Whether you're a team leader, coordinator, supervisor, lead tech, then this is the blueprint that you need to be successful. So you need to get the leadership tidbits that's inside of this book and take it so that you can truly operate in your zone of genius. That's why you need this book.
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. I 100% agree with each and every one of you. This has been phenomenal. So let me just sum up here. Objective of this book, one, is to discuss strategies for developing new leaders, understanding the importance of defining a clear management track, determine the core roles and competencies for managers, for understanding the importance of continuous development of managers, and finally, to apply the principles of manager development to your organization. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Anything else, folks, before we go? Because we're going to be ending here shortly.
We just want to thank you for your vision and for allowing us to walk along beside you in creating this work, Cedrick.
Well, I thank you guys for accepting the challenge.
Thank you,
Cedrick, it's been fun. When do we do it again?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your dream.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for joining the journey. I really appreciate each one of you. I'm excited for what it's going to do for you and what it's going to do for your business. I'm excited for what it's going to do for people who are looking to be new leaders and for current leaders looking to go to a higher level, right? That's really what our goal and objective is of putting this book together. So thank you guys for tuning in. You know, some people dream of success, but also those people who make it happen. You're looking at people on the screen who are about making it happen. And if you're looking to make things happen, folks, all you got to do is be willing to take action. All you have to do is be willing to step up when opportunity comes your way. See, there's a lot of people that wish for opportunities, and then a lot of people that take advantage of opportunities. There are a lot of people that talk themselves out of opportunities, and a lot of tells this opportunity is for me. So thank you, ladies, for taking the challenge. Thank you for tuning in tonight, audience. Go and click on the links in the chat and pre-order a book. And I'm going to leave on my final note that I tell you all the time. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And don't be on the menu. Thank you and good night.
All right.
My music.
Are we offline?
So we'll just end this.